What you're essentially doing is using your platform as elected officials, the trust that the American people have put in you, essentially to usher in communism. You're not actually fighting for American values. Don't roll your eyes, because it's a serious topic, and that's where the money's coming from. So now I'm informing you, so now you guys can make your decisions, but please be informed, sir, Mr. Walz, that if you truly do uphold the American ideologies and perspectives on the Constitution, you should not be speaking at that rally.
Did you guys see the look on Governor Walz's face? That is the look of a politician who is used to softballs getting absolutely hit with a sledgehammer of facts. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you ever wondered what it looks like when a prepared, no-nonsense representative corners a career politician who thinks he's untouchable, you just watched it. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna didn't just bring the heat. She brought the receipts, the itinerary, and the bank statements. And Tim Walz, he looked completely lost. Stick around, because we are breaking down exactly how Luna exposed deep ties to communist China, and why Governor Walz's incompetence in this hearing is actually terrifying. Let's get into it.
First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to educate the American people on what's really happening right now with these riots. So I see right now there's a lot of back and forth and finger pointing, but the fact is that there is a financial tie to these riots, tied to immigration, that actually leads right back to the Communist Chinese Party. Straight up, the LA riots have been organized by an organization dubbed PSL, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, funded by billionaire Chinese activist Neville Singham, who spends part of his year by living in Shanghai. In addition to that, although he is not a registered foreign agent, he accepts a lot of money from the CCP and then turns around it and funnels it right into some of these violent protests that we're seeing. But it doesn't just stop there. This is not the only organized protest that's using brown people and immigrants as a ruse to push their communist and Marxist agenda. Mr. Walz, thank you for coming in today to testify, or Mr. Walz. Real quick, is it true, yes or no, that you are speaking at the June 14th Twin Cities No King rally?
I can't confirm that right now. That could be true.
Okay. Just so you know, they're advertising you speaking there.
Okay.
The graphic's actually on X right now. I'd be happy to provide it for you, so I'll take that as probably speaking. Is it true also, I know on your campaign, that you had admitted to visiting China anywhere from 15 to 30 times, sir? Yes or no, please?
I did live in China. And
no, visiting, sir, in addition to living there and in addition to having,
that's correct.
All right. Also, too, I'd like to note that during your time in Congress that you filed for a $5 million earmark that actually was secured. $2 million of it went to the Harmel Institute that actually collaborated with the Wuhan Institute. Also, the Department of Homeland Security, sir, just to you, so that you're tracking, actually had an internal memo that was released that stated that the government of China considered you a prime target for influence operations. I'm letting you know that now because I do believe that you should be made aware of, if you are not already, that you are working with and going to be speaking at an organization and rally that not is just funded by Christy Walton, the heiress of Walmart, but also has ties to the Chinese Progressive Association, largely funding it, that actually brags on their website that they are pro-Maoist. Also, too, funded by the National Endowment for Democracy. I know there's a lot of people on this committee that don't like billionaires interfering in politics, but say nothing when George Soros gets over $260 million from USAID through the last administration that's then funneled into some of these nonprofits and organizations. So I guess my question for you guys is, now that I've made you aware that these riots are not about illegals and they're not about immigrants, if they did, they would have been protesting under Barack Obama, who's also dubbed the deporter-in-chief. And frankly, I think many of you would say that Barack Obama was a good president. Are you going to say that Barack Obama wasn't a good president? Yes or no, Governor Walz? Do you think he was a good president?
Do I think Barack Obama was a good president? I think he did a good job.
Okay, how about you, Governor Pritzker?
I think he did a good job, yes.
Hochul, and yes, he did do a good job.
Okay, next. Perryman?
I think President Obama did a good job.
So then you would understand that Barack Obama had the very same policies, for the most part, on immigration that Republicans are parroting today, and yet you guys are sitting here saying that we're Gestapo. And what I would tell you is that what happens with open borders is that the real people that are coming here, the ones that are exploited, actually it hurts people on both sides, not just Americans, but the illegals. Some of you had said here to the actual committee that you are doing what you can to assist these people. But what I would say is that your policies aren't actually done from a place of understanding and sympathy. I would say that it's actually doing the exact opposite. And when you use brown people, just like they use black people with BLM and Marxists during BLM to usher that in, when you use brown people and you put Mexican flags with them saying that you stand up for illegal immigrants, but you follow the money and it's going back to the Communist Party, what you're essentially doing is using your platform as elected officials, the trust that the American people have put in you, essentially to usher in communism. You're not actually fighting for American values. Don't roll your eyes, because it's a serious topic and that's where the money's coming from. So now I'm informing you, so now you guys can make your decisions, but please be informed, sir, Mr. Walz, that if you truly do uphold the American ideologies and perspectives on the Constitution, you should not be speaking at that rally. I've given you the correct information, and as of right now, I've authorized a letter to be sent to my office to the President of the United States to rescind millions of dollars in funding that we know are going to the No Kings protests that were authorized and basically given under the last administration. That is what Congress is supposed to do, not point fingers, not blame people, but actually ensure that the American people are protected and not fighting for foreign interests, foreign governments, and also the communist
Will the gentlelady yield for a question?
No.
You don't want to tell us what your evidence is of all this connections?
Actually, no, I will yield to that.
I appreciate
Mr. Goldman, you'll get 5 minutes
take
in a
your
minute.
word
Let me answer
for
the
it,
question.
but
Let me answer
you'll
the question.
appreciate we might want actual evidence.
I would be happy to provide that, and I'd also be happy to inform Chairman that actually we have a letter of which you can sign on to. I know you like to sign on to letters with us, especially on the Epstein stuff. But we actually have a letter going out to Neville Singham on Friday, and it's actually signed by every single member of Oversight. I'd like to extend that to you because that letter is calling him to testify, and it's also calling for his financial transactions. And do you agree, sir, that we should not be accepting money from the Communist Chinese Party? I think anyone on this platform would agree that that should not be accepted, correct?
I would like for you to actually present evidence rather than just, quote, inform the witnesses. And now that they're informed,
look,
should assume
I
what
don't
you
disrespect
say is
you. I'm
true
going to answer your question.
when
We are having a hearing on it where we can present all the evidence.
Order.
No, but let's have this dialogue.
Yeah, go ahead. You're recognized, Ms. Luna.
We are going to be having a hearing, and you can gavel on to the hearing. I'd appreciate you to do it because the fact is that the Democrat Party, remember,
Is it going to be as good as the Biden impeachment hearing?
Mr. Goldman, you'll have 5 minutes in a moment.
Let's focus real quick.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
like to
she's
go
out
a
of
step
time. I just think
further.
you're trying not to let me talk.
Guys, if you guys want to talk about it, I'll answer the question. But Mr. Singham is also funding Code Pink through his wife.
You know, it's my turn.
Can we
ask Elon
Right.
to divest from China while we're at
The
it?
lady's time's
Guys there.
expired. The
That's right.
lady's
Thank you
time's
very much. We'll
expired.
be having the hearing. Y'all are invited.
Okay, let's take a deep breath because there was so much going on there. First off, hats off to Representative Luna. That was a masterclass in how you control a hearing. She wasn't just asking questions, she was building a case. And honestly, it was devastating for Tim Walz. Let's start with the incompetence. Did you catch the beginning? Luna asks him a simple question. Is it true you are speaking at the Twin Cities No King rally? And what does he say? He says, I can't confirm that right now. That could be true. Are you kidding me? You are the governor of a state. How do you not know where you are speaking? How do you not vet the organization you are rallying with? It falls into two categories. Either he is totally incompetent and has no idea what his staff is doing, or he knows exactly who they are, and he's trying to play dumb. Luna had to literally tell him, they are advertising you speaking there. She knew his schedule better than he did. That is embarrassing. But it gets so much darker than just a scheduling conflict. Luna connects the dots on the money. She brings up this guy, Neville Roy Singham, a billionaire with massive ties to the Chinese Communist Party CCP, living in Shanghai, funding these radical groups causing chaos in our streets. She looks Walz in the eye and asks him about his ties to China. And look at the stats she threw out. Visiting China 15 to 30 times. A DHS internal memo. Guys, that is the Department of Homeland Security. Literally stating that the Chinese government considers Walz a prime target for influence operations. That should send chills down every American's spine. When the DHS is worried about a governor being influenced by our biggest adversary, and that governor is actively shrugging it off, we have a major problem. And then, let's talk about the attitude. There was a moment where she had to stop and say, don't roll your eyes. I love that, because that is exactly what the establishment does when they get called out. They get dismissive. They act like they are above questioning. Walz sitting there, acting bored or annoyed while she is detailing how foreign money is fueling riots in America. It shows a total lack of respect for the office and for the American people. He wasn't taking it seriously, and Luna rightfully put him in his place. Also, Can we talk about the strategic trap she set with the Obama question? That was brilliant. She gets Walz and all the other Democrats to go on record saying Obama was a good president. They all smile and nod. Yes, good job. And then bam. She reminds them that Obama had the same strict immigration policies she is advocating for. She exposed their hypocrisy in real time. You can't praise Obama and then call Republicans Gestapo for wanting to secure the border. She boxed them in perfectly. Finally, watching Dan Goldman try to swoop in and save Walz at the end was just pathetic. He tries to interrupt, asking her to yield. And Luna? She shuts him down cold. No. She wasn't there to let them spin the narrative. She was there to put the facts on the record. Look, the takeaway here is clear. We have a serious issue with our elected officials engaging with foreign adversaries, and when they get caught, they play dumb. Tim Walz looked unprepared, incompetent, and frankly, compromised. Meanwhile, Ana Paulina Luna showed us what actual leadership looks like. She did the research, she followed the money, and she refused to back down. Let me know in the comments, do you think Walz genuinely didn't know about the rally, or was he caught red-handed? And what do you think about that DHS memo? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. See you in the next one.